y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a story that I want to share with you. It's really important. It is about them folks over there in Davos. They're meeting next week, and we need to know about it because our well being may very well be impacted by whatever happens there. So I want to read the story to you. It is coming from the Deccan Herald, which appears to be an Indian newspaper. And I like reading news from other parts of the world because, like, our news ain't even talking about this. So I have to go outside of the country to know about really what's going on around the world when it comes to this New World Order stuff. So bear with me. So this says Macron, Li Quang, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so forgive me, Zelensky to take part in WEF Davos meet, Irani Vaishna and Puri to represent India. So yes, this is Indian um, media, but I feel like it's very important as well because India is a huge player in the BRICS, trying to bring down the dollar. And so, as you can see, all these people attend these same old meetings. And so, I just want to highlight that I'm not on anybody's side. I need to say that, especially if you're new to the channel. But I just want to show that everybody's on the same team. Everybody's working by the same agenda and everybody's playing both sides. So, at the end of the day, there are no good guys that we're looking at. We're just basically keeping an eye on what's happening so that we won't be caught off guard whenever the bad begins to happen. So this says the Indian delegation, in addition to Smriti Irani, Ashwini, Ashwini Vaishna, and Hardeep Singh Puri, will also include three chief ministers, Maharashtra's Eknath Shinde, Telangana's Revnath Reddy, and Karnataka's Siddharamaiah. I don't know. That was a lot. And again, I apologize. I'm not Indian, so I don't know how to pronounce these names well. And I live in Babylon, so if we're forced to speak English and not required to do much else when it comes to speaking other languages so that we can become more fluent in them. So this says New Delhi, more than 2,800 leaders from around the world, including over 60 heads of state and governments, will meet in the Swiss ski resort town of Davos next week for the 5-day annual meeting of the W and the E and the F, the World Economic Forum. I have to speak crazy because the algorithms. But anyway, again, this is just another confirmation that we already are living under a world government system. These people are meeting every 2 years to see if their plans are working, to check in and give progress updates to one another and get orders and directives to governments and foot soldiers so they can do whatever and corral us where they want us to go. So if you're thinking the New World Order is like somewhere far off, it's already here. It's just they don't call it that. So in an online pre-meeting conference, WEF President Borge Brende said the meeting will take place in a very complicated and the most challenging geopolitical and geoeconomic scenario. The annual meeting, which will be held under the theme of rebuilding trust, which I don't know what they think about because we ain't finna trust them. I ain't. Y'all already know my position. I don't trust nothing them rascals say. We already know who we dealing with. And so anything that's coming from this thing is You should be examining it like you looking for lice in a head. That's what I'm going to say. From January 15th through 19th, will also be hosted in nearly 100 political and business. Will be attended by nearly 100 political and business leaders from India. The Indian delegation would include 3 union ministers. I'm not going to read the names, as well as 3 chief ministers, describing India as a key country with over 8% GDP growth. That's gross domestic product. I think that's what that means. I've been out of business realm so long I forgot. I've been talking about other stuff. Brinde says several ministers from the country will attend the meeting despite being in the middle of an election season. Besides RBR Governor Shaktikanta Das and ministers from Uttar Pradesh, there will also be several CEOs from India. And I'm not being disrespectful or not attempting to overlook them, but the main pieces is what I want to talk about at the end of this article, because that's where all the good stuff always is. The meeting will be attended by over 40 finance ministers and 16 central bank governors, as well as 30 trade ministers from across the world, along with the World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Among global leaders, French President Emmanuel Macron, Chinese Premier Li Qiang, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, and U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan will take part. Key foreign ministers from the Middle East will also be there. Before the start of the WEF meet, a meeting of global security advisors will also be held in Davos, and many of them will attend the official program. So that's interesting. Global security advisors. So that speaks volumes to me. The WEF said the meeting will drive dialogue, cooperation, and partnerships on global imperatives, including economic growth, climate and nature action, energy security, technology, governance, and human development. We face a fractured world and growing societal divides, which is what they want and what they created, leading to pervasive uncertainty and pessimism. No. Anyway, we have to rebuild trust in our future by moving beyond crisis management, looking at the root causes of the problems. They must be going to disappear because they are the root causes of all the problems. So I don't know how you're going to help us rebuild anything when it's you that's creating all the problems. We see y'all. We ain't stupid. Looking at the root causes of the problems and building together a more promising future. WEF founder and executive chairman Klaus Schwab said. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you. Oh, wait a minute. They have more stuff. More people's going to be there. Heads of international organizations taking part include UN Secretary Antonio Guterres, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva, World Bank President Ajay S. Banga, NATO Secretary General. This is the important part, which you need to see, because this is your real global government. Like these are the heads of these international entities that are setting up the stage for us to be ruled over. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg and WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. An estimated 1,600 business leaders, including 800 plus of the world's top CEOs and chairpersons, will also participate. while there will also be more than 150 global innovators, tech pioneers, and unicorns, uh, as also over 35 cultural leaders. So, as you can see, next week they'll be doing things, trying to figure out how they're going to rebuild trust. So, I guess they're going to finish expediting the chaos. And the trust part is where they're going to bring in the order. So this, I guess, is what they're going to be discussing, how the order is going to come about after they bring about the chaos and after whatever is going to happen between now and after the election cycle. And all this stuff is going to happen globally. So don't just think of it, as it relates to your nation or your area. This is going to be a global activity. The whole world is going to be up in chaos. The whole world is going to be destabilized. The whole world is going to be looking for a savior. And they're going to be presenting their solutions in an effort to rebuild trust so that they can suck us into this new system. So it's very important for you to be aware of what's going on. It's very important for you to understand what they are doing, what they're talking about, who's going to be there, and why, and then continue to prep and prepare and pray and come out of the system, because ain't nothing good gonna come from it. It's done. They're not gonna save you. There's only one savior, and he ain't here on this earth. So whatever solutions they offer, they haven't worked in all this time. They're not going to work now. What you need to know is that these people have plans for us and they are not letting up. They have plans every step of the way for every incident, everything that could go wrong. They have a plan for it. Just like, people are waking up and not trusting them. And they're talking about rebuilding trust. So they got to go back to the drawing board, pull out the new tricks and shake them off and put them out. So you just got to constantly be watching what's going on in this world and making sure that while you're watching, you're not participating, or accidentally getting, sucked up into any of their plans, because there's an agenda. I've been telling y'all about it for a whole entire year. You can go back through my old content. I've been talking about it. So there's nothing hidden. I already laid the whole thing out for you. You just watching it play out. And it's happening gradually, but it is happening. So keep your eye on what's going on. Keep watch. That's what we are called to do in this hour. You try to wake your brothers and sisters up as much as you can, but don't spend too much time. Those who are asleep going to stay asleep. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do about it. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, our Creator. Keep doing the work, learning the Word, understanding the Word, increasing your spiritual discernment and your relationship with the Creator, so that you can make sure you are aware of all the things that are coming. Do not be distracted by all this other stuff. So while everybody talking about Cat Williams interview and who wearing a dress and who ain't wearing a dress, it don't matter at the end of the day, because all of it is a distraction. Not saying that it's not important, because I do think it is important. Us being entertained in the way that we're entertained and the amount of entertainment we consume, I think is a valid point. It needs to be discussed, but at this particular time that particular interview is being circulated, I find it very suspect. I'm sorry. I've seen Cat Williams talk a number of times on a number of shows. Why this particular platform? Why now? So for me, I don't necessarily question Cat Williams, because Cat Williams has been saying the same thing that he's been saying the whole time he's been in comedy. What I do question, though, is Shannon Sharp and his platform. The fact that he was on ESPN and now he has his own YouTube channel, and he's a part of the system. He is into sports. He talks about sports betting. You got to look at that. He advertising DraftKings. Who controls DraftKings? What? We talking about money, betting, gambling, and money. So y'all gotta wake up and see nothing happens by accident. Nothing at all. Things are happening and they want you to be distracted. Things are happening, they want you to be talking about other stuff and looking elsewhere. This is important because this ties into that beast infrastructure that I've been telling you about. This ties into the mark of that beast and the image of that beast, and not being able to buy or sell or trade without being marked. This is where we're going. This is the most important thing that we need to be talking about and that we need to be focusing on. And these entities are going to control all of that, in addition to AI, which is why they keep talking about technology governance, and tech is going to be at the table, because technology is going to be the catalyst. It's going to be the thing that makes this the glue. Without the digitalization and the technology, none of this works. Without Web 3.0 and the Internet of Things, none of this works. There's no way you can have a global government. I mean, you can have it, but you won't be able to control all the people the way that you want to control them without these gadgets. And so this is the most important business that you need to be paying attention to, in addition to gathering yourself to be um, uh, getting more knowledge and wisdom during this time before darkness, because we're headed for darkness and famine. It's not going to be, uh, it could be a literal darkness and famine, but there will be a spiritual famine. You won't be able to get the word, you won't be able to get knowledge. All of the watchmen will have to be quiet. All of the means to communicate with you will be taken away. And those of us who have to make a choice about whether or not we're going to participate in this system, that'll be the time we'll have to choose. So when you're not learning and you don't understand what's going on, eventually it's going to catch up with you. It's going to bite you in your butt. So take this time to become wise about what's happening, to learn about what these people are planning for us and all of humanity. And if they're talking about rebuilding trust, that means that there is no trust, and there is a reason for it. And it means, it's, to me, it's validation. Um, they've done nothing for us to trust them. They've done nothing for us to um, believe in them. They haven't shown they're protecting us. They haven't even shown they have our interest at heart. They got a totally different agenda. They didn't ask us. And there's a reason. So the title of the session is All You Need to Know, but it also lets you know that we are on point and we got them running and they are watching us. So keep up the good work. Y'all stay rooted in your word and continue to come out of this system, because it is going to ensnare a lot of people and catch a lot of people off guard because they're busy looking at other stuff, doing other things. All right, this is Marley K. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, Instagram, and Facebook. The links are in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel financially, you can buy me coffee or send me a Venmo donation, and the links are also in the description. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Learn those laws, statutes, and commandments. Go back and read your Old Testament. Start in Genesis and just keep on reading, because there's a lot of stuff in there that we've never been taught. And if you're true Israel, if you understand who we are, African American Black people, and those Israelites scattered throughout the continent, throughout the earth, we need to really be hunkering down and trying to learn as much as we can, because we don't have much time. Soon we will be persecuted and they're going to try to get rid of us. So we need to do all we can to try to not necessarily preserve our lives, but we need to know the word so that we will not bow down to this beast. All right. Again, this is Marley K. Thank y'all for staying to the end, and I'm out.